If you have a chair, please bring a chair along to your practice. This is going to be a way that we really deepen our connection with our breath and our bodies this evening. So, welcome, delicious humans. I welcome you all to get grounded on your seat. And the idea is that we want to feel our feet really rooting into the ground. And today the theme is ground to grow with a sprinkle of gratitude. So as you're sitting yourself, I want you to feel both of your hips evenly grounded, your feet on the earth. And then I'd love you to just start the practice with the simplicity of a big, deep breath, lifting the hands to the sky, the hearts to the sky, filling the body to the brim, and then bringing the hands down through the heart center. The idea is that we ground to grow. So as we ground down through our legs, I'd love you to have the sensation that you're growing through your spine. You can feel that lifted sensation of your heart, a smile across the collarbones. And from here, I'd like you to gently warm your hands together for me like this. You can make some sound. You can make it as slow or as fast as you would like. But the idea is that I'd like you to feel as though you were creating energy by the magic of your own hands. And as you feel the hands getting warmer and warmer, I'd like you to take a deep breath in with me. And as you breathe out, I'd like you to just drop your shoulders and place your hands gently over your heart space. An invitation to close down your eyes and to start your practice with breath, a moment of peace and stillness that is especially yours. Feeling your toes on the earth, I'd like you to take a nice deep breath into your belly and feel that energy rising up into your heart space. And as you exhale, I'd like you to just nestle into the warmth of your hands, gently cradling the heart. On the in-breath, we ground through the hips, but we grow tall through the spine. And on the out-breath, again, we just feel the shoulders soften, maybe drop them another 20 inches or so. The inhalation, the beginning of a smile, not just for your lips, but for the gentleness of your body. And on the out breath, it's almost an arrival into this moment. One more time, a collaborative inhalation. Tonight we collaborate with our energy. We open our hearts with every breath. And on that out breath, we take the opportunity to make friends with our body here. As you open your eyes gently, I would love you to take the hands back together and for the last time create a little warmth and energy between your palms. When you feel that heat and almost a tingle in your fingertips, this time I invite you to just ground those palms right here on your thighs, feeling the transfer of warmth into the legs, and then a roll of the shoulders about 5 times with the intention to just have a little wriggle and release anything that might be holding around these spaces. Now on the in-breath, we're going to reach our right hand for the sky. And on the out-breath, we're going to reach our left hand for the ground. And I want you to feel how we're just reaching out into the outside edges of your ribs before coming back to the center, palms to the thighs. You've got it. On the inhalation, the left hand reaches, almost like it's pushing the sky away. And then on the out breath, the right hand reaches for the earth. And you can see how we're pouring that breath out into the shoulder and into the ribs. Reset to ground through the thighs. An inhalation to lift. An exhalation to ground. And then a moment to just reset. We're going to find a little dance with that flow. An inhalation reaches for the sky. An exhalation grounds us, and it's just this little sassy slide out into the ribs to feel that stretch. Reground 2 more times. You look beautiful. One hand reaches up. One hand grounds us down, and it's a pouring of energy out into the ribs. Reset. Beautiful. Deep breath in. And deep breath out, maybe even letting the neck surrender a little extra this time. Now, as our hands come back down through the heart center, this time we're going to lift up and push down all at the same time. And then we're going to reset the breath by coming back to the middle. A big inhalation stretches up and down. The head softens as it pleases, the out breath. Back to the center. Now for the next 4 cycles of breath, I just want you to focus on letting go and stretching into the parts of your body that need a softness, a little more. And breathe. Perfect. We're going to do that one more time. The inhalation and this transfer of energy from fingertips high to fingertips low. A reconnection to the heart center, and one more time through. And breathing out. Now this time I want you to be really happy with where you're seated. You could come right to the edge, or if your spine needs a little more support, you can wiggle your booty all the way to the back of the chair. But wherever you are, I want you to feel how the hands pull back, but our heart reaches forward a little, stretching through the fronts of the shoulders. And we're going to reach out to the side, up for the sky, palms together. On the out breath, we're going to almost curl back into the shell of our spine to bring the hands through the center line. So pulling with the feet, we let the heart come forward and the hands reach back. Lifting high into that breath, and on the exhalation, we simply soften the head and lean back into the shell of our spine. 4 more times, I'd like you to find the flow of breath, dancing through your spine and through your arm lines in a way that feels really beautiful for you. It's really important that we meet our bodies where they're at today. Sometimes this means smaller arm movements. Sometimes this means deeper breathing when we need that softening. And a big breath to open. Yes. And a deep breath to come center. Now on this last one, I'm going to ask you to really stand strong into your feet. So when you press down, you can almost feel the thighs lighting up. And on the out breath, it's the softening of the back of the head, the neck, the jaw, and the shoulders. We open the arms out like wings, palms to the sky. And I invite you to bring the right arm across the body. The left hand is going to gently give that arm a little tug. And I want you to feel like you're pulling the right shoulder back in opposition to feel a little stretch through here. It's perfect. The inhalation, we have expansion. And on the out breath, we gently guide that left palm across. That little tug of war is the pulling back of the shoulder blade. 2 more times. Whole heart smiles. And we gently bring the arm over. That's it. Last time through. Everything tonight is going to be simply a guide. I'm going to really ask you to lean into your body as your greatest teacher. And sometimes that might just mean having a little wriggle and modifying the pose however you need to. I want this to feel really good. The inhalation next has our hands reaching for the sky. And I'm going to ask you to just watch how I do this little shoulder roll. And in turn, I'm slowly stretching out into the sides of the ribs. The breath almost guides us into a little dance. And then I'm going to ask you to keep your breath flowing deeply, but see what it feels like to soften the head and let it dance from side to side as well. Now, the only rule here is to dance in a way that feels really yummy for where your body is at. You might like to close down your eyes so you can have your moment to just dance like no one's watching for a few breaths. And to really help you to tune into the softening of the neck and shoulders. If it's a bit much to have the hands up, you can see how we can explore the spaces around us, out wide or down low. But this is an invitation to color outside the lines now. Not having to be in a strict hold, but rather an invitation to go where your breath takes you. And to have a little playfulness with that breath. Staying here for 5, let the hands sway. 4, let the jaw release. 3, let the neck soften. 2, pour energy into the ribs. And 1, just let the hands drop. We're going to inhale as though we're lifting up. We're going to exhale as though we're letting go. Shoulders shake. 2 more times, an inhalation of lightness. And an exhalation to let go of any tension we don't want to take to bed this evening. Last deep breath in. Last deep breath out, right as you are. Right hands reach for the sky. And immediately we reconnect with that softness through the sides of the neck. The left hand finds the wrist and gives it a very gentle pull so that you can pour some breath here out into the ribs. Now all we're going to do is dance from side to side, letting the head sway gently too. And we're going to do that just 2 more times, that little pause, so that we can give ourselves permission to relent, to access a deeper breath and deeper parts of softness within. If it's available, the right palm, it's just going to come over the back, like we're giving ourselves a little tap at the top of the spine. It doesn't matter where it lands, but we are going to feel the energy lifting up the elbow to create a gentle stretch here. The other hand sweeps up and over to find that elbow. And after filling up with breath, we're going to lean the head back into the arm and just gently draw that elbow across, just to evoke an opening here around the outside edge of the shoulder. That's it. 2 hands reach for the sky and the left palm taps the upper spine. And just 2 times each side, we're going to sway, breathe, and purr into that moment. Now that we've had a little dance with the arm lines, that's going to be our baseline movement. So that if any time tonight a movement arises that doesn't feel like it was made for your body this evening, you can simply devour the opportunity to have a little breath, a little dance, and a little wiggle. So again, practicing that shoulder roll 1 at a time. And then you're simply letting the breath grow the movement. The tissues of your body are beautifully hydrated by the gentleness of that sway. And the more you breathe to expand the ribs, the more you might actually feel those tissues gliding and sliding across the joints, across the bones. Well done. Now we're going to reach the right arm out and simply soften the left ear towards the ground. Let's take that right hand behind the waist, and we might even catch it with the left hand. And for a moment, we sigh into the shoulders. It's like your right ear is listening to what the sky has to say to evoke this stretch. From the ear all the way down to the shoulder. It's perfect. Now we're all going to hold tension in slightly different places here. So you might like to just look down to the left armpit. A little sigh of the jaw might give you a different kind of stretch through that neckline. And the last breath is about soft shoulders and gently moving your chin where you like until you think, that's where I needed that neck release. Shoulders sigh, a little reset, and the left hand expands out wide. The right ear gently falls away. This is where we find or we invite a melting sensation. And then we tuck that hand behind. You might even hold the fingertips to give it a gentle pull. The tummy leans back into the arms so there's no arch or strain. And then the sigh has us just melting into the length, creating space between ear and shoulder. The next breath guides the chin down into the armpit space just to see if this gives us a different kind of stretch. And as the shoulders stay soft, the head almost like a rag doll, we just wander the chin gently up and down, side to side, until you feel where you need to create that moment of stretch in the neckline. As everything comes center, we raise the arms to the sky. And we're going to do this little swaying action where the hands sweep down to the left and then the hands sweep down to the right. This movement almost always makes me want to sing that row, row, row your boat. It's just the idea that we are sweeping our fingertips into a body of water. And I love to imagine that sensation like I am just gently sailing my body on every breath. If you can imagine the fingertips really are dipping into a body of water, you'll create a little more resistance in your core with the idea that you are gently pushing through something, fingers splashing through the water to gently activate through the core. Beautiful. We're going to breathe through these lines 4 more times from this one, thinking about softness through the neck. And this is a really delicious way to mobilize a line within the body called the spiral line. As you come center, the hands are going to drop. The fingertips are going to find the knees, and thinking a beautiful opening of the front body, we pull up on the fingertips to lift the heart and the eyes to the sky. You might feel a gentle stretch through the front of the throat, the openness of the heart, and even the belly. And on the out breath, we ground the hips and lean back into the upper, middle, and lower parts of the spine. A softening of the breath is really important to find that space in the back. When you have it, we free flow in breath to open and out breath to soften into the shell of your spine. When we inhale, we open the front line, the line of courage. And when we exhale, we melt and pour our breath into the back line, the line of protection. Both equally as important as we move through our body. One more time, try pressing into the feet to lift a little higher. And on the out breath, try pushing into your feet to lean back just a little bit more. Coming center line, the right hand is going to come to the outside of your left thigh. And I almost want you to feel like you're pulling up on your thigh. So you've got a little bit of traction in the body so that the left hand can reach to me. And we're going to just reach for each other for a second before softening the eyes so the neck is relaxed. We reach for something in front of us and then above us, something behind us, and then we curl the spine to dip the fingertips through that body of water to come back through the center. You've got it. Now, almost in slow motion, I'm going to draw 6 big circles through this line and invite you to explore that movement, deciding on whether we need a little more, a little less, and then trusting that your breath knows where to take you, particularly softening the neck as your body moves back to me. Gorgeous. Here we have the opportunity to explore all parts of the spine, building strength in the core but fluidity through the back line. This hand stays high. Give me a little wave so I can see you here with me. And then we're going to find the other thigh, the experience of pulling up. And any kind of push-pull gives us this extra activation in the core. Now we reach for each other and we press this knee outwards into our hand. You've just created some strength. The hips reach back and we lift above behind. Imagine that cool body of water as we trickle our fingers through and create that big, beautiful circle. Now, as you go through that circle, we want to move slowly enough that you can appreciate where our breath needs to find a little more softness. You might find certain parts of the spine that are asking us to just melt a little more so that we can really soften the muscles of the back body while we gently activate the core of the front body and the center body. Last time through. Soft neck. Take what you need from this position, 2 hands to the sky, and let them simply fall down like rain, really soft, really gentle. And as you do, let one ear fall to the ground. With no force or pressure, we just let the shoulders melt. And in turn, we passively invite these tissues along the side of the neck to let go. Chin moves down towards our heart. Head rolls us around to the other side. Moving gently and without force, we arrive with open hearts. Melting shoulders. And softened necklines. As we realign, we are going to now start becoming really aware of our feet. For a second, imagine you're spreading the toes out really wide to create this really strong foundation into the earth. And then with your right leg, I'd like you to slide your foot out in front of you so that your right leg is almost straight. If you wiggle further back to the chair, it will make the stretch a little gentler. But if you come right to the very edge and you take more of your hamstring off the chair, that's just an invitation to get a little more length into that leg. Now, with an open heart and a tall spine, we're going to take our time to just hinge at the hips. And as we pour our tummy towards our thigh, we give that thigh a little squeeze. That's the little secret for finding more length in the back body. And if you'd like to reach for your toes, it's just a slinky slide of that hand coming down to reach towards the calf, the ankle, or the foot. Once you are arriving where you need to be or want to be, we soften the head And we slowly roll on up, pushing into the left foot so that we can lift our right one all the way up. We have a little wiggle so that our hips are evenly planted on the chair. And our left hand is going to pull up through this foot. Your right hand is going to gently press down on your calf muscle and roll it forwards. Deep breath in. This one can feel a little juicy, feeling juicy for me right now too. We pull up through the toes and we just soften our heart down towards that calf. Emphasis on the soft neckline, melting shoulders, and a very deep breath pouring into the outer hip. When you've found that juicy, stretchy spot, we come back to the center and we cross over at the legs. The left hand comes over, and with a big sweeping breath, we take this hand behind and almost pull that thigh across the body to spiral into a twist. Deep breath in to ground through the hips and to grow through the spine. And a deep breath out to see if we can take that back thumb around the corner just a little further. Floating back to the center line, we uncross that leg. And as we take it out to the side, I do this little shift so that I almost take my right butt cheek off the chair. This gives us a little more space to stretch here within that divine line. And as we lift up, we breathe. As we breathe out, we slowly pour that energy over towards the straight leg. We check the head has softened, the ribs have expanded, and that we have held for long enough to just take what we need from the side body. As you come up and over, that hand is going to hold the edge of your chair so that you have something to push down into as you reach away from that thigh. Again, exhaling, melting shoulders, and your top hand is going to come all the way over to grab the outside of that thigh again. You're so beautiful, that's it. We lift up and we gently reach across. The gaze falls down to that extended foot. And we give ourselves grace in the power of this stretch. Everything comes back to the midline. We bring everything back to the center, and you can wiggle both butt cheeks back onto the chair. Well done. We inhale to expand, and this time on the out breath, we first drop the head and then the shoulders. And then we slowly roll down upper spine, middle spine, lower spine, and you can roll down a little bit. Or you can roll all the way over to just lay yourself down over the thighs. We pause for just a second and long enough that the back of the neck and the back of the shoulders can just release a little. And then as we push into the heels, we're slowly leaning back into the spine. Our tummy gently draws in and up so that we can roll up vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. The head is the last thing that comes up. The arms expand. And on the out breath, the right arm crosses the left one as though you're giving yourself a hug. And I want you to see how I gently drop the head and scoot back into the back body. The gentleness of the hug and your breath to stretch across the upper spine. Grounding through the feet, we let our wings fly back open. And this time the left one comes on top. A gentle hug of the outside shoulders, a softening of the headline, and a purr to just let the head go. To lean back into the upper, middle, lower parts of the spine. And to reconnect with that expansion on the next in-breath. The hands will drop. The shoulders will roll. And this time your left leg will extend out. You're going to notice if you curl the toes towards your nose, you feel an extra stretching sensation through the back of the leg. We squeeze this thigh like we're drawing it up off the knee. And then we soften the chest forward, almost as though we're reaching towards your toes, until you start to feel that stretch. Now reignite the toes to nose and notice what I mean. And let your hands slide down towards that foot, looking for a little extra. You're going to take exactly what you need here with breath and with soft shoulders. A sensation of just letting yourself safely fall into that sensation. And as you push into your right foot, we roll up, collecting the left foot. We place it up and over the other leg. Now you might notice a difference from one hip to the other. That was my first thought with this one. This one feels a little juicier. So that little wiggle can almost encourage the tissues to warm and to adjust until that feels a little more comfortable. We pull up gently on this foot, and this hand will slowly roll the calf muscle forward as our heart pours forward and down over that calf muscle. If at first we're met with a little resistance, we simply pause to breathe. And the softening of the shoulders almost gives the rest of your body permission to soften as well. A little pause to feel that stretch and that unraveling around the outside of the hip. This one opens the sciatic nerve to create a little more space for the lower back and for the freedom of that hip. And as you sit back up nice and tall, we're just going to cross that leg over, almost pulling it across to feel this gentle stretch here. And then we're pulling that top thigh and that top arm away in opposite directions. The inhalation and our heart opens. And on the out breath, we gently pull that back thumb around the corner just a little more. Well done. Everything comes back to the center. And like a little dance in time with the breath, the next breath takes this leg out long. I just did that little butt shuffle to the edge of the seat so that I'm grounded through the right, long through the left. And can you breathe to just lean in as much as you would like towards that leg? Being mindful to draw the abdomen to the back of the chair so you have a little more space in the spine. And you're going to notice how that breath in expands the ribs, the line of space here. As you come back through the center, this hand grounds you so that you have something to push down into to open up the other side of your ribs. Watch the head fall gently. And you can even explore that neckline to find something softer. And then we're going to take that same hand, collect this thigh, and as we breathe, we're going to lift up and gently over towards the opposite or towards your left foot. Be gentle, embody the breath. Take what you need and gently come back to the center line. That was beautiful. As you adjust back to the middle, we take both legs out wide and we have the idea that the thigh muscles are rolling outward away from the center line of your body. And from here, if you ground down through your heels and gently push out into your tippy toes, you might feel how this creates a little more space and activation through the inner and through the outer thighs. The shoulders stay gooey, the heart opens in a smile. And on the out breath, we're going to lean forward with the heart, back with the hips to evoke a deeper stretch here. And I'd love your right hand to gently push out into the right thigh as you drop the right shoulder and right ear towards the left knee. Inhale to come center, and it's a gentle play of energy. That left hand rolls the left thigh away as we lean across. Now let the breath dance with your body. One breath, one shoulder drop, a softening through the sides of the neck every chance we get. We're going to do that 3 more times, and you might like to play with the way your hands roll the thighs back. Only if you would like to find that deeper stretch this evening. Melting in and coming center. And last time, beautiful. As everything comes back through the center, we close the legs this time. We're going to take one hand to the outside of your chair. So I'm going to use my left hand. It's my right one, but I want to mirror you. And then from here, we're going to place one hand behind the head. Let the chin drop gently. And as we push down into the left hand, I'd like you to just let your left ear fall down. You might like this top hand to be even more relaxed as you lean out into the right side of your body. And we're going to take a moment to just breathe. As that hand comes back down and across, same on the other side. One hand sweeps over. And we just pour our breath out into the ribs while gently drawing the abdomen back. That's it. And then finishing this pose with a little extra love for the neckline. Your right fingertips arrive here at the left temple. The shoulders are gooey, the breath is deep. And as we breathe out, we drop the right ear, but I want you to see how I'm gently leaning out into the right fingertips to create a gentle resistance here. Can you give me a little thumbs up if you can feel that energy that I'm talking about running down the side of the neck? That little energy pouring out. Yeah, beautiful. Now again, we're all going to carry tension in different places. So you might like to take a moment to slowly explore where you point your chin, maybe down towards one armpit or the other, maybe gently looking up. But I want you to explore until you find your oh yes moment. That is where I would like to release a little more tension and replace that energy with a little more softness. We slowly come back to the midline, almost like slow motion, bringing the head back to the midline so nothing feels too abrupt through those tissues. We gaze over the left shoulder and then we gaze over the right. You might notice I've got a little shoulder roll going because I'm trying to get those tissues to dance with the breath. Inviting any adhesions to slide and release through the neck and shoulders. One more time left. One more time right. And this time to the other side, the left fingers will find the right temples. We'll breathe. And as we lower the left ear, we will gently lean our face out into those fingertips until we arrive in a stretch right here along the side of the neck, the jaw and the shoulders. On the next breath, you might play with the head position. Chin down, chin up. But wherever you arrive, can you find gentleness and grace with that breath? Notice if anything is clenching and let it soften. Feel your jaw letting go with a sigh. And then as you slowly make your way back to the center, those fingers just gradually peel away. And we roll to look over the right. We roll to look over the left. I'm going to do that 4 more times to the right and to the left. Observing the unraveling, ear, neck, shoulder. Center line, the head drops slowly. The sigh drops deeply. And I'd like you to feel the warmth of your palms firmly connected to the thighs. A groundedness, hands to legs. A softness, neck, shoulders, jaw. Slowly realign your head. And knowing that we are now moving into a place of gentleness, breath, and peace, I'd like to give you a couple of different options. You might like to stay exactly as you are, but to lean all the way back into your chair. You might like to lie all the way down on the ground or wherever you are. Or a really nurturing tip for your body could be to use your chair as a support for your calf muscles. Our calf muscles contain a lot of nerve endings, and you might even notice how our calves can get quite tight sometimes. And it's a very nurturing sensation for the nervous system to be able to gently rest these muscles on top of your chair. I'm simply going to offer this as a little option tonight, but from seated to lying to grounding the calves as I am doing here, I'd like you to take the next moment as a transitional moment. To have any other last wiggles that might gratify where the body needs to stretch or open. To add any layers if you need to get warmer or more comfortable. And wherever you decide to be, we remember that theme of grounding so that we can grow and glow into every breath. And so now an invitation to close down your eyes. To feel that transition taking place from activation and length to softening to peaceful presence. To arrive deeper in this space, you might intentionally take a breath into your body and notice the expansion of your ribs. And on this first exhalation, you might like to gently part your lips, soften the jaw, and let out a gentle sigh, an audible This is like a little love letter to our nervous system that communicates, I am here. I am breathing and I am safe. Lean into the comfort of whatever is holding you. Your feet on the earth, the floor or the back of the chair against your spine. Maybe the support of your calves. And for the next few moments, it's almost like you're slow dancing with your breath. As the wild of the outside world starts to fall away for a little while. We take the opportunity to just be here in a moment of friendship with our bodies. There is an invitation to soften, to welcome gentleness with every breath in, and a deep sense of letting go with every breath out. On your next inhalation, I'd like you to imagine how it might feel if your whole body was smiling, not just your lips. Is it light? Perhaps expansive? Perhaps it's naturally softening for the neck, the jaw, the shoulders, the spine, the hips. Imagine every time you breathe out, your body's still smiling, but everything feels really soft. Every breath gives us more permission to relent. And to devour a moment in time that is especially yours. Smooth and calm. Your breath ebbs and flows. Fingers in their natural curl. Even the tippy toes feel soft and gentle. Breathe. Gently bloom and unfurl all at once. This is your moment of gentleness and grace. I'd like you to wrap up this sensation and keep it close to your heart. Holding it somewhere safe so that you can visit again and again when you need it. Notice that when your lips gently smile, Your eyebrows and your cheeks soften. And unclenching takes place around the jaw. And then I would like you to hold a vision of something very dear to you. Something that pours gratitude into this moment. Something, some place, some moment that lights you up gently, but beautifully. And in that energy of gratitude, could I invite you to place your hands over your heart or anywhere on your body that just craves a little extra gentleness right now. This evening you might feel the words and breathe them in. Or you might like to say the words after me. But to finish the practice, we are going to affirm our body. Eyes still closed and breath still soft. I embody my body. I trust my body. I love my body. As you take the deepest breath you have taken all day, let your eyes gently open. Have a little wiggle in your body. And come back into your evening with intentional gentleness. My wish is that you will hold on to that feeling for your evening. From my heart to your heart, namaste.